Hey guys, it's Jason from the Glitter Guy here, and I have another craft tutorial for you this week, and it's an idea that I am super excited about. For the first time, I have come up with what I believe is my own idea that, I researched enough, I haven't seen anybody else do it yet. And the process is something I came up with on my own and figured out on my own, and I just think it's gonna be really cool. So, what we're gonna make is a glitter mural. If you guys can see, the craft room is completely under disrepair right now. We have all kinds of, we never don't have ideas happening. A lot of changes yet again. We're moving rooms around yet again. I got a lot of inspiration from watching a bunch of different channels and a bunch of different craft rooms and aesthetics and stuff. Thought it would be cool, instead of having just like the generic little light up sign like we had behind, if we had something that featured a little more sparkly. Glitter wall is something I thought would be really cool. Something that Sarah added to that would be cooler was if we could change it out. So she came up with the idea of putting it on like a movable canvas. Fortunately for us, I have from a previous project, bang, a big piece of drywall. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this picture of Big D and we're gonna put them right on here in glitter fashion. So first we're gonna trim down our board, and then we're gonna show you how to make the artboards for this process, how to break it down into multiple different cut files. Then we're gonna show you a cool little montage of all the patterns being cut. And then we're gonna get to making this thing. And I think it's gonna be really rad, and I'm excited for the reveal afterwards.
All right, so the first thing that you want to do is create a new file, and you're going to set up the dimensions to be just like tacky tape in 12 inches by 17 inches. You want to set it to 20 artboards. We got that with the math of how big we wanted our scale. The next thing you want to do is change your columns. We set our columns to 4. That way if we have 4 columns, we'll have 5 rows. And then the last thing that you want to do is change your spacing to 0. This way, all your boards are nice and tight. You don't have any gaps or anything. And now essentially, when you put it together, it'll be one big old sheet. Now, take the outlined image of what you have. We're starting with something simpler. Be a whole nother tutorial on how to remove color and get outlines and everything. So we're just starting with an image on this one that has just a basic outline in the first place. We wanted to start with Big D, one, for the fact that he is our most favorite mascot, but also because it was a simpler option. Like I said, this is the first time that I'm trying this, so I wanted to go with something that I thought had a much higher success rate. And then the plan from here is to scale the difficulty level up. So after you have your image in here, you're going to set it into image trace, and you're going to do black and white logo. If you did an outlined image, it should generally give you exactly what you have already if you choose black and white. And then you're going to click expand, and now you have all the outlines. You just vectorized your image. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on any of the outlines. We're going to go to same. We're going to go to select, same, stroke. And we want to change the stroke to have a black fill. Or I'm sorry, a black stroke. And then we want it to have no fill at all. Now, what I didn't do when I made it this time around was I just exported it. You export as. Now, I had already done this previously, so I don't want to do it a second time, but you export as PNG and make sure you click use artboards. It's very important, the most important step. When you click use artboards, see, I would just name it that. And if I go to click save, we want to keep it as a PNG, and it would just be like, do you want to replace these? You click OK. I say no because I already saved it. I did this previously. So like I mentioned, the last step that I didn't do, what you could do was you can convert the outlines. This will eliminate your outlines from having an inner and outer stroke to them when you move your file to silhouette. So that will be a lot better for you so that you don't have any doubled up cut lines. And that's it. Then send it over to Silhouette, set everything to cut.
Alright, so we're gonna cut this down. I only have a little bit to trim because this is already 4 feet wide, and that's what our pattern is going width wide. I'm gonna trim her down. The numbers are. Your room is crazy.
There's nothing in this room. There's barely anything in this room, and somehow you have managed
I'll find
to
the
knock
stuff
over the very few things that were left. There's like literally nothing here.
I'm like a bull in a china shop.
You're something.
Alright.
This guy.
Just so you all know, I'm making this up as I go. This has never really been done. This is just generally ideas that I think are going to work. We got our columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we just got to get our rows. 17. Did I mess up already?
Why don't we put it on the floor and lay these on them with the backs on them? See what happens.
Alright. Now this goes here. I'm going to get another sheet of drywall. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to cut it this time. We're still recording, right? So this one's definitely tall enough, right? What's that foot say?
7.
Alright, we're good.
But it's more than 7.
This is 8 foot. We're good! I'm
I
not
was
doing
gonna say, I feel like
guidelines.
we should just lay it on the floor and apply it.
Alright. On the floor and we'll lay them on. Alrighty, that's one sheet. What do you say we snap the rest of these on there? We do it on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was easy. But really, I'm sure that we can show you guys a couple of the snags that we had pulled apart in a couple spots. We just recut a couple sheets as we were applying. We're learning through it. It's the first time. If you guys noticed, there's a little gap here right in the middle. When we were applying at the bottom, we started getting a little cattywampus to the side there. So I decided the center would be a perfect opportunity instead of starting all over to straighten him back out, because that has the least amount of lines for us to fix. It's really where his like belly is and everything. We'll glitter the whole thing, and then afterwards, any little seams and gaps that we have, we'll go with a small brush and Mod Podge, and we will just fill all those lines in with the appropriate colors. Other than that, I think it came out way bigger than I anticipated. If you guys have not worked with tacky tape previously or unaware of ever how to do anything like this with double adhesive and glittering, you want to go dark to light because you're going to end up having the colors possibly bleed into the other otherwise. So his outline is black. That's the darkest color. We're going to start with the outline. I think that's probably going to be the coolest effect too as we go to kind of reveal, because I think it's going to be a little difficult for you guys to get the full detail until we start getting some color in here. So, I got my fancy glitter guide tweezers. I'm gonna start on like this half and do the outlines. Also, the outlines double cut. The way the pattern did, learning curve again. Next time I do this, I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't double up on the outlines because it will save a lot of time in cutting and stress and applying. But these little extra outlines are essentially what happened was Silhouette created an outline of my outline. So this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the first two together. This inner one, which is a lot bigger, is technically the same. They're both gonna be black. Started. This can be a big peel. You can let it tear in any of them places if it's easier, and then just go back and grab it. We're going to do Twilight holographic black board. guys, we are finally done. It was cumulatively over a couple days, probably like 4 hours-ish. Definitely the most time-consuming part was cutting the pieces out. And as you guys probably saw, cut in a little bit in the video, we ran into a couple snags in applying the pieces. But the beauty about that is you don't have to start the whole project over. It's all in little grids. So you just peel that one piece off, set it to cut again. I'm really excited with how this thing turned out. I think we picked a really good option. One with, you know, obviously simple outlines with Big D. Definitely going to up the ante next time. But without further ado, let's see how she turned out. Ready?
That we were a little bit off on placing on here, we were able to band-aid those with Mod Podge, and I mean, I think it came out amazing, especially for our first one.
Yeah, it was talked about a little in the application process, but what happened was as you're applying them and stuff, if you're off by the slightest bit, as they go together, you're just going to constantly walk. So what I figured as I noticed that happening on the whole bottom half was like, let's just keep that where it's at, and then we'll start fresh with this layer and go straight. That's why there's a little bit of a seam there, but like Sarah mentioned, we just used a little bit of Mod Podge, touched it up. This is something meant to be viewed from a distance, so you can't even really tell. I think overall, I'm super pleased with never doing this before, never trying this technique, anything like that. I think it came out super well, and I'm excited to really up the ante next time, like I said. Don't forget, if you guys enjoyed this and think you might enjoy seeing things like this in the future, like and subscribe, hit them buttons down below, and yeah, can't wait to get into more projects like this.